Well, in light of the devastation that we've seen in Texas, one of the big points I want to bring home to you is that unfortunately, the floods that we saw in Texas just a few days ago, and we're still looking at and picking up from the devastation from them, that is something that can happen right here in Colorado. There are numerous historical examples of it, and that sort of flood is something that unfortunately we are prone to getting here in Colorado. So yes, they could happen. Those sorts of floods can happen here in Colorado. So for a little context, about 10 to 12 inches of rain estimated on radar fell in those Texas floods at a couple of different spots, led to a 42-foot climb in water in about 1 to 3 hours on some of those rivers there in central Texas. Our rainfall, our 24-hour rainfall record, that's official for us in Colorado, is about a foot of rain for us. That was in the September 2013 rain event back in Fort Carson. Worth noting that you look back at historical examples, there are radar estimates higher than that. So for example, the Big Thompson Canyon flood that took place on July the 31st of 1976, 144 people died in this. What happened in that flood event was in about 4.5 hours, 12 to 14 inches of rain estimated on radar. There was no rain gauge to officially collect those numbers, but about 12 to 14 inches of rain fell in that event, led to a huge washing out of the canyon and all those fatalities and utter devastation. So it can happen here in Colorado. So what you can do, a couple things to keep in mind. Know the forecast before you go up. If you've got that potential for heavy rain, and here in Colorado, know those exit routes and act quickly. I mentioned a 42-foot rise of water in 1 to 3 hours. That's what happened in Texas. It takes a very short period of time for that to happen. Avoid burn scars or anywhere around a burn scar, because a burn scar, it's like taking a bucket of water and pouring it onto a tile floor. That water spreads out and it creates greater conditions for flash flood events like what we saw in Texas. So just keep in mind, in Colorado, a couple of these events, and that could save your life.